Alright, so in this video we're just going to target on prime numbers, factors and multiples to include finding H.C.F and L.C.M, and I'm going to show you how to actually take out H.C.F and L.C.M in simple cases. So first off, what are actually prime numbers? Prime numbers have only two factors, which is actually 1 and themselves. I'm actually like showing you like an example. For example, 2. So it can actually completely divided by 2 itself, alright, and 1, like that. So the remainder is 0 here, and the same goes here, the remainder is 0. So as you can see, both the divisions are give us the remainder of 0. So this 2 actually here is a prime number, same as with 3. You divide it by 3, you get a remainder of 0, and when you divide it by 1, you actually um, get the remainder of 0 here. So they actually have two factors, which is 1 and themselves. So let me just give you a brief example again. Just think of a number which is, for example, 7. Now think of a table in which this 7 comes in. Actually this 7 comes in, actually doesn't comes in a table, but actually comes in its own table, which is 7 into 1 equals 7, and a table of 1, which is 1 into 7 equals 7. So this 1 and 7, these are actually the factors of this number. So this 1 and 7 actually are the factors, and these are called the prime factors as well. So I'm just going to tell you what are factors actually. Factors are like the numbers which completely divide a number. For example, like 4 completely divides 12, like 2 completely divides 6 or 10. Let me just show you an example over here. Like for example, 2 is a factor of 12. You just see here, it actually completely divides 12 with a quotient of 6, as 2 into 6 equals 12, and it gives us a remainder of 0, so it actually completely divides 12, so it is actually a factor of 12. So in the next part, I'm going to tell you what are multiples. Multiples are just simply numbers which when multiplied by a constant gives a factor. For example, 3 into 2 equals 6. Or just you can like simply think of a table, for example, which is like 3 into 1. Let me just pick the pen here. So 3 into 1 equals 3. So 3, this 3 actually is a multiple of this 3, and 3 into 2 equals 6. This 6 is actually a multiple of this 3, and 3 into 3, for example, equals 9. This 9 actually is the multiple of this 3, and so on until the table just continues, and all these numbers here are actually the multiple of this number 3. So we're just gonna go ahead now, as I might hope that all is clear. Just gonna go on to the next page, and let's see what LCM is. LCM is called the lowest common multiple. So what is a lowest common multiple? First off, it's like you just consider two numbers, 78 and 52, and you just see what is the common multiple in them. For example, taking the common multiple of 4. So what are the multiple of 2? It is either 2 into 1, alright, so this 2 is a multiple, 1 is a multiple, and for example 4, so 4 comes as 4 into 1 and 2 into 1. So actually the lowest common multiples are 2 and 1, you know. So as in this case, 2 into 1, 2 is actually the lowest common multiple. But if, for example, there's a bigger number in the exam and you have to figure out the LCM of these two numbers, for example. So you must use this method I'm telling you out here. Just write 78 and 52 in a single line, put this line like that and put this line like that, and then divide it by the least number you can think of. For example, 2 is the least number. Obviously you can divide it by 1, so just divide it. I'm just gonna divide here. So like 2 into 3 equals 6, and 2 into 9 equals 18. And then the 52, which is like 22, which is equals 4, and we can actually divide 50. So we just have to carry this one over here, and this is gonna be 12 and it's 26. And now, so at this process, at this like stage, we can divide this 2 by this 39. So we actually have to replicate this 39 over here as it is. As we can divide 26, so we will like divide it as it is, and then we're gonna divide it like this. 21 equals 2, and 2 into 3 equals 6. Now at this point we can actually divide it by like a simple thing, so we have to divide it by the least number, which is 3. So 3 in 1 equals 3, and 3 into 3 is going to be 13. So there we go, we have 13 and 13s. We're just going to take the 13 off because we can divide it by any other least number, because 13 is a prime number, so we have to divide 13 by itself. So 13 into 1 equals 13, and 13 into 1 equals 13, and then our stage is actually finished. And now to calculate the LCM of these two numbers, we just have to multiply them. Alright, we just have to multiply all these, and we're gonna get the LCM. So the LCM is, let's just take out the calculator for now, and it's gonna be 2 into 2 into 3 into 13, which is actually 156. So this is the LCM. Now coming on to HCF. HCF is the highest common factor, which is like a common factor. Here in the LCM it was a multiple, but here it is like factor. So if you are like given, for example, 2 and 4, so just think of what are the factors of 2. It is actually 1 and 2, and think of the factors of 4. The factors of 4 are actually 1, 2, and sorry, it's not 3. I was actually trying to write an and symbol, and so 1, 2, and 4 itself. So there are actually 3 factors. So the common factors are actually 1, see, 1 is over here and 1 is over here as well, and 2 is over here and 2 is over here as well. So there are actually 2 common factors, and in this case we have to multiply them, which is 2 into 1, and it is actually 2. Now I'm going to show you how to calculate the HCF of these two numbers. We just calculate the LCM of, which is 78 and 52. So to calculate their LCM, we're just going to go with the same methods, but like in a different way. We're just going to do them separately. So first off is we're going to go with 78, which is 2 into 3, which is 6. We're going to carry it on, and it is actually 2 into 9, which is 18, and then 31 is 3, 29, and 13 into 1, which is 13. Obviously 52 we're going to go with separately as well, and we're going to divide with the least number, and 2 into 1 equals 2. So here we go, this is completed. Now the SCF is going to be quite different for you, and the LCM. The LCF of these two numbers, of this one and obviously this one, is actually you're gonna write 70 like this, put an equals to sign, put the factors out here, 2 into 3 into 13, alright, and put the common factors of 52 out here, which are actually 2 into 2 into 13. So circle this 13 over here, and circle these 2 over here as well, and the HCF is going to be 2 into 13, which is 2 into 13 is actually 26. We're going to write 26 over here, and let's move on to the next page. And the prime factors. Prime factors are not actually a thing to be scared of, but prime factors are actually almost the same as prime numbers. They completely divide a number but are actually prime factor. So for example, prime factors of, for example, 12 are only the prime factors, so you have to only include prime factors. We just study about prime numbers, which were actually actually 2, 3 and 5, which only have two factors, which is 1 and themselves. So out here the prime factors are actually the same. For example, the factors of 12, we're just gonna write them over here with this like method. So the prime factors are actually 2 and 3. So the prime factors are 2 squared, because like 2 is coming 2 times, and 3. So the prime factors are 2 and 3. So I'm just gonna rub it off and do some like exam style questions over here. So it's like written over here in the exam: express 200 as the product of powers of its prime factors. So we have to give the answers in powers, and it should be the prime factors, and it should be the product of prime factors. So you actually know what to do over here. I'm gonna productify it, write 200 over here, and like divide it. We're gonna have to divide it now. It's the same process we did before, and it is actually 25 and 5 into 5 and 5 into 1. Alright, so the product of its prime factors is actually gonna be 2 cube, because 2 is like coming 1, 2 and 3 times, and it's gonna be into 5 square, because 5 is like coming 1 and 2 times. So the answer of this is actually 2 cube into 5 square. Alright, so we're now gonna go on to the next question. Find the highest common factor of 75 and 90. So we're just gonna go with both the numbers separately as we did before, divided by 3. Or you can actually divide it by 5 as well, but you can actually divide it by 3. I'm just doing it with the least number, and 3 into 2 equals 6. 3 into 5 is 15. 5 into 5 is equals 25. 5 into 1 is equals to 5. And this 90, we're going to do the same thing with this 90 over here, divided with the least number. 2 into 4 is actually 8. 2 into 5 is actually 10. 3 into 1 goes over there, 15, and is going to be 3 into 5, which is 15, and the least number, which is 5 over here. So the HCF, I'm just going to do it like we did before. I'm just going to write it over here. By 75 over here, which was 3 into 5 into 5, alright, and 90 over here, 2 into 3 into 3 into 5. Now we're just gonna have to find the common factors in it, which are actually 3 and 5. So 3 and 5, I'm gonna multiply 3 and 5, which is equals to 15. So the HCF is actually equals to 15. So we have to like calculate the LCM as well. In this part, LCM of 75 and 90 as the same calculator here. So we're just gonna write it. We're just gonna quickly flop through it. I'm not gonna do any talking over here. So it's gonna be 5 into 1, 2 goes there. Alright, 5 into 1, 4 goes there. 18, and we're going to go with 3. You can actually divide it 5, but it is actually not so important to divide it with the least number, but you should actually divide it with the least number, as I haven't done here. So we're going to go with 3 here. I could have gone with 3 here, but it is actually safer to go with 5 here as well, so I can actually go with 5. It is not like so confusing. You can actually go with 5 or the 3. It is actually based on your own like on your own brain, and so we're just gonna divide 15 by 3. So it's gonna be 3 into 5, which is 15. 3 into 6, and this 10 division. 3 into 2. The 5 replicates over here. Right, the 5 replicates, and this is gonna be 2, and alright, so the LCM of this is actually 5 into 3 into 3 into 2 into 5, which is we're gonna calculate, which is actually 5 into 3 into 3 into 2 into 5 is equals 450. So the LCM of this is actually equals 450. Alright, let me hit next, and is the same question as this one. You know, here express 200 as a product of the powers of those prime factors. So I'm not gonna do that, and so I'm actually giving this one to do it as your own. You can actually send your homeworks to my email, and I'm gonna check them. And these two numbers, these are actually the easiest one as well. So I'm just gonna like go over with it, and so I'm just gonna go over with the hard part now. So I'm gonna repeat the question, this one, these two questions, and this one is actually the part of your homework. This one is I'm gonna solve it in front of you in this video now. So what is A actually? A is actually given in sort of powered form, or what I might call it. So we're just gonna turn it into a simple form by the help of a calculator. You know, like we're gonna put some powers over here, play with powers. 3 into 3 square into 5 quad, or what I like to call it, 45,000. Alright, so this one is actually a bigger number than you all might have expected. So it's gonna be 3 powered 5 into 5 again, and 7 powered 3, and this is gonna be 4001. Not actually 4000, but yeah, is actually, I don't know, I might call it 416745. Alright, so we're just gonna calculate the H.C.F over here, so we have to like make a larger space. And to calculate the H.C.F of a larger number, there is actually a shortcut which you can try, so you can do it in a shorter time. So I'm gonna write these numbers over here, and we're actually gonna divide it with 5 into 9, which is 45. We're gonna replicate the zeros, alright, as you know, is a standard division. And 5 into 8 is equals 40. 1 goes over here. 5 into 3 is 15, and 1 goes over here. 5 into 3 is 15. 2 goes over here. 5 into 4 is equals to 20, and 4 goes over here. 5 into 9 is equals to that. So we're just actually gonna verify this term by the calculator, right? 416745 upon 5, actually 83349, actually the same term we got here. Now this term we can actually easily divide by 3, so we're just gonna do it in the calculator. 9000 is obviously gonna be 3000, and this number we actually have to put and see if this number gets divided by 3. Alright, so this number is actually getting divided by 3. We're gonna write the result over here, which was 27,783. I'm gonna write it over here and see if this number actually divides by 3 as well and gives an integer, and it actually does. Is going to be 1000 over here, obviously, and this is actually now 9261. We're going to see if this divides by 3 as well. Alright, so this divides by 3. Let's see if 1000 divides by 3 as well. Maybe it's not dividing. Alright, so it is actually giving the answer in decimal, so we have to like stop here. Alright, so the HCF of these two numbers are actually 5 into 3 into 3. We're just gonna stop here and then multiply the rest of the factors. The HCF is gonna be 5 into 3 into 3, which is 45. That's it. And we have learned prime factors, factors and multiples, and LCM and HCF. So that's all for the video, and make sure to leave a like, and if you want to go with more math videos and physics and chemistry or bio videos, you should also subscribe the channel. Thank you for watching. Peace.